Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I decided I'd have a morning live. See, I can have morning lives because I don't even go to work until noon, so that's a nice thing. But um, I was thinking about this, about our comfort zones and how we like kind of we think that we mastered a skill. Good morning, Brandy, Betty, Tab, Royal Linus, Teresa. Who else is up in here? RCX. Good morning. Huga. Huga was the first one in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. So I was really thinking about this, like, our comfort zones and how we like kind of chill out on certain things because we're like, oh, well, we got this part, or we got that part. And then I started really, good morning, Bernie. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see everybody. So I decided I would bring up I think it's a really important topic because there's there's this point where we start going, oh, okay, well, we're prepped up for this and we're prepped up for that. And I think that kind of complacency, it settles in. And you don't have to do this because I got this. Um, I was thinking about, okay, what are the steps to get out of that comfort zone, to maybe over the edge into things that you haven't done? Because, see, we all are definitely human. Who's a human, or is there some aliens in the chat this morning? But we're all human, right? And no matter how diligent we are, how sincere our efforts are, that once we get this threshold, we feel like, oh, well, we're masters of that. We got that. And I think that that brings us to this situation where we have to break out of the comfort zone. We definitely do. Good morning, Country Prepper. Good morning, Carol. Nice to see everybody. Good, Lenora. What the heck are you doing up? Bougie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So I think that we have to realize that times we have to break out of the comfort zone as a prepared family, prepared person, a prepper, homestead, or whatever it may be, and we have to start setting up some deadlines. I think that's a really, really good tip, is to set up deadlines because, see, even once we once we accomplish a certain goal in prepping, then there's still more to do. Who always feels like you have too much to do? Uniquely written, my goodness gracious, good Patty. Who always feels like, no matter what the scenario is, that you always have more to do? I do. I mean, every time I feel like I'm accomplishing this or that, it's like, whoa, okay, I'm not prepared for that scenario. What if that would happen? And what if this would happen? And you kind of look around and you go, whoa, shit, maybe I'm not as prepared as I thought I was. Or maybe it's because I've chilled out a little bit. And I'm not saying overwhelm yourself, folks. The thing is that if you're really, really living and trying to achieve more, there's always something to do when it comes to prepping because the scenario could turn drastic in just a little bit of time. It always brings me to the story of me living in Los Angeles during the LA riots. And I mean, honestly, I thought we were like, oh, we had a great neighborhood. We were in far east Los Angeles County. Everything was good. That kind of stuff would never happen in San Dimas or Laverne, right? Which is almost to the San Bernardino line. And then when the situation happened, it happened so quickly that everybody in our complex was like, this is stressful. This is unbelievable. And Los Angeles to San Dimas, right, where I lived at, was about, in light traffic, it was about a 35-minute drive, maybe 40 minutes. Okay. LA County is very big. So I lived on the outskirts because that's where my aunt lived and that's where I settled after I got out of the Navy. But when the riots happened and we were sitting in the living room, and I really wish I could find the map. I know I have it somewhere. But we actually, me, my friend Jeff, my friend Angie, there was Rosie, and there's like six of us. We were at my apartment, and the LA riots broke out, and we Jeff ran over to his apartment. He lives real close. He ran over to the apartment. He brought back a map of LA County, and we were watching it break out on the news. And as we watched it, it got closer and closer and closer to us. We had a highlighter, and we were highlighting every town that it was hitting and what was going on. And when it got within about 20 miles, I said, "That's it. I think I only have a quarter tank of gas. I'm going to get gas." And they're like, "Be super careful." I rushed out. I got gas. And I'll never forget the tension in the air among people. You know, I'll never ever forget the tension. It was everybody was super super stressed, and yeah, seeing it and being in it is a whole different story. And it brings me to this point that like, what can we do? What should we do? And are we actually prepping for the things that, or have we chilled out because we're like, "Oh, that's not going to happen here. I live in rural America. There's never going to be a riot out here." Or I live in rural America. They're not going to drop a poo, a bomb. Those things really come to my mind, and it's like, wow, what do we do? So I think that it's really, really important that we all break out of our comfort zone. And I think the one big, huge thing I kind of put together is establishing deadlines, actual deadlines. I'm perfect for a notebook. I grab a notebook and I write down stuff. But if you're in the middle of a survival scenario or any other major crisis, you had better believe that all your important tasks are going to have hard rush deadlines that you're going to have to accomplish right. Whether the cold weather's cold, whether it's hot out, there's bugs out, whether there's a fire going, there's not going to be no ands, ifs, or buts. Because see, if major BS, like what happened in Los Angeles, what happened to me, is coming down the pipeline and it's coming really quick, you have two choices. Either to not make any more excuses and get it done, or you're gonna be in trouble. I think that every person needs to understand this, that there's no time present. When we procrastinate, right? We procrastinate. No, I'll do that next week. I'm not buying that today. I'm not learning that skill. I think the skills are the most important thing. But see, when I have a big news flash, right? When that type of situation comes, you may tomorrow. You may not have tomorrow. You may not be able to get off the hook so easy, right? You need to move so damn quick that if you don't have your plan in line, we've talked about plans. If you don't have that line, what are you going to do? Yeah, exactly, Bernie. If you don't think it could happen, it'll happen. Just like I kept thinking, there's no way that this situation is going to come all the way out here, so far away from downtown LA. Did it? Oh, you bet it did. And did it happen really quick? Yep. I think another thing is that when you talk to people and you sit down and you talk to people, you want some people that have been real survivors of a catastrophe and get their accounts of what happened, and learn from them. Hey, this happened and I wasn't ready in this aspect or this aspect. See, dragonflies gets on me all the time. We need to keep the car full of gas. Keep it full of gas. What do? I let it get down to a quarter tank. And see, I need to kick myself in the butt because if a situation happens, are you going to have time? Are you going to be out there in the masses standing in line to get gas? That's just a simple example, right? Sometimes those can be a little uncomfortable because you didn't do it. But then if it's a disaster, a catastrophe, civil unrest, war, there's no more excuses. You got to learn from people that have went through it and see what happened to them. And I'll tell you what, I realized in Los Angeles, and see, here I am. That was 1992. And here I am, folks. I'm still doing the same thing when it comes to gas. I need to quit procrastinating over just the simplest stopping at the gas and filling up the tank. Because that one little thing could be a lifesaver. It truly could, you know? How many of you say, "Well, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. We're gonna do this tomorrow. I'll make sure it's done tomorrow." And then a month later, it's still sitting there, and 2 weeks later, it's still there, right? Yeah, see, now I do have some spare gas cans, but those are my backups, right? But if I kept my vehicle full, right, RCX, if I just took the extra step when I'm driving by the gas station, rushing home from wherever, that I would just stop and take that minute. And it probably isn't enough, Watchman. 20 gallons of gas is probably not enough. But 20 gallons of gas is better than nothing. See, everybody has to do different things. Yeah, everybody has to do different things. And I do have stabilizer. I have heat. I have different things like that. But I kick myself because I went through a real life situation. A real life situation. I'll tell you what, that was 1992. And yet, if you didn't live in California, you probably won't remember this. But in 1992, not only did the riots happen, right? But then on top of it, there was like a 6.8 or a 7.2 earthquake, and it was a shaker and a roller at the same time, right? And see, Watchmen, everybody can say you should have this or you should have that, but each and every one of us is at a different level in our prepping. Some people can't afford to have 200 gallons of gas sitting around. See? So I never ever bash somebody for what they can't do. We need to come together for what we can do. But I think the biggest thing is just what Lenora said is, and what I said is to stop procrastinating, to take those moves, be it if it's gas or first aid or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be gas. It could be anything. Maybe you have not worked out the security of your perimeter. Maybe you are lagging in the food department. Maybe you have no clue, right? None about first aid. Maybe you haven't done diddle. Maybe you just come to these prepping channels and say, I'm going to go hang out with the preppers because they're kind of fun. And someday, see, this may backfire on you. And I believe that the time is running very, very near. That, just because the banks got bailed out this time, does this show us that something can happen and without us even knowing? You know what I mean? Like, do we say, oh, okay, well, the government's always going to step in and they're going to save the day, so I don't have to do that today. I'll worry about it tomorrow. A lot of people say, well, save big money, save big money. A lot of people can't afford that. But can you afford $5 instead of going to get that Big Mac attack? Can you afford $5 to go get a new pair of socks when you have 25 pairs? You know, so you got to put your priorities right. You most definitely got to put your priorities right, because if you don't, then where are you at, right? And I think that um, it's really, oh, we're on a slippery slope when it comes to everything, Watchman. And I agree with you. We're on a slippery slope, and the slope is starting to erode from underneath us, right? Good morning, Carol. Yeah, but you're also of faith, Watchman. And being of faith, you need to stand on the faith. I think another thing is we all need to have a trusted friend, a mentor, somebody that can evaluate our skills and our vulnerabilities, somebody that maybe can come and shake your window in your house, shake your front door and see if they can come in, right? Somebody that's really a good person, but also that's not just smoke up your ass that you're doing a good job. It's really down to earth honest with you. I've never had someone do that before. Let me put it this way. You walk out to your car and the air is out of your tires. Let's talk a little scenario. So you walk out to your car and the tires out of your car. Sometimes when people evaluate what we do and they look at our readiness and our related skills and our prepping skills, and it's really a trusted friend or a mentor figure, and they give you a genuine opinion about this, they might deflate your tires. They might deflate your tires because you thought you had it covered. They might actually hurt your feelings. You might have to get real honest with yourself and look in the mirror and say, "Whoa, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that." You know, you have to realize that we have to take it with a grain of salt, not like get all upset and pissy about it. But this person genuinely cares about you. Maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's your aunt or uncle, right? Maybe it's just a dear friend, and they say, you're prepping, but I can walk right in your front door. I can come up to your front door and you don't even know I'm there. To your house, raw all your food, and you protect it because just like me and Dragonflies, our freezer's out there for the taking. Do you think? I mean, we're working on that situation right now, but honestly, folks, do you think that if all shiznick breaks loose and we're gone and somebody sees that freezer and they're hungry, that they're not going to open that freezer and take all of our food? You bet they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in a rural setting or an urban setting. See, that's setting ourselves up for a target. That's why me and Dragonflies are going to get out there and do the dang thing, and we're building another wall. Oh yeah, always is, always is country prepper, always is, always full. See, but the thing is, Dragonflies has been emptying it out, um, so that she can a lot of that stuff, and we can refill it up. But we're building a wall. We're putting a door. You're on the way. Yeah, well, it would be a great place to hit. I'll tell you what. You could walk off probably with what, $400 or $500 worth of groceries, food, mostly meat, mostly vegetables. That's one of those things that um that we have to strengthen. Well, yeah, but country prepper, think about it in a realistic way. Who would do it? Even in a rural setting. Lots and lots of people would do that. Lots of people would say, "Hold on, Watchman, quit being so depressed. Stop already." You know, um, yeah, yeah, exactly. Welcome to the chat. We talk about that often here. We're a very faith-based channel. And I think that first and foremost, we're real people. We're not hypocrites. You know, we're real people. We talk about real things, and we laugh a lot, and we smile a lot. But that's most definitely, you got to stay centered. And when I say centered on this channel, everybody in the chat knows that I'm talking about getting your spiritual house in order. Being good morning, welcome at Hide in Jesus. Hide in Jesus. I like that. Everybody, welcome Hide in Jesus to the chat. It's so important though that we look at the vulnerabilities and not get upset that our friends said, "Well, I could do this or I could do that," right? But to take it and use it as constructive criticism. See, in 2023, sometimes it's very hard for people to just take things and work on it without getting overly offended. The other thing is sometimes, how many of you in the chat like you bite off more than you can chew? That the old saying that you have, you know, you spitting off too much and you're overwhelmed. You're hurting. You're failing at the things you're trying because you bit off way too much. Hit a one if you feel like sometimes you just bit off way too much to chew. Um, I think there's nothing better, honestly, than testing your skills. Like really learning your skills. You know, maybe it's bushcrafting. Maybe you need to get yourself up, get a sleeping bag and a home bag, and do what I did the night I took y'all with me, and go out in the forest, go to the lake, go to a campground, wherever you feel comfortable, and seriously sit out there for 24 hours, just you, Jesus, and the wilderness. Just you and God, and realize what it would be like if it was a weekend, or what if it was a week, and take your minimal supplies, and really, it doesn't matter if you're 70, it doesn't matter if you're 30, it doesn't matter if you're 20, but really do it and use the skills that you learned and put them into work. Put them into work. And then, just like I had to reevaluate my get home bag, then you reevaluate yourself and you say, you know what? I'm really, really lacking in this. I need to train some more in this. And then you search that out. You search it out. And then look at your failures too. How, how many times y'all seen me um, remember when I did the car demo, breaking the window? The first one went great. The second one went great. And then I had to go for number three, right? Yeah, we do have country prepper. We have some people in their 20s here. Actually, Puddle of Souls is in his 20s. I think he's 20. Uh, Miss Needles is very young. Right. Yep. That's the truth. Amen to that. Amen. And see, forgiving the people that hurt you. That's huge. That's huge. And that's another skill because you have to come to your knees on God and surrender it all up to ask for forgiveness. And if you don't, you'll carry that baggage around with you. We've talked about the baggage a lot. But once you really, really set back and go, you know what? I cannot do that. I really screwed it up. And even like when I did the window demo and I cut my hand, it really made me go into fast cure, first aid, wrap my hand, get it to quit bleeding, evaluate how bad my hand was cut, right? And then go forward. Uniquely written. But you got to access your own failures and you got to look at them and, you know, take take that and write it down and work on it. Everybody preps for it, right? I think the other number 6, the big, big thing. Mark Cassidy, what's going on? You get ready to have a baby. Calm. Calm is good, Mark. Nice to see you, man. Congratulations. Everybody congratulate Mark. They're bringing in a new baby into the world. But also I think one thing is help after disaster strikes. Small scale disasters, large disasters, complete total meltdowns. You're gonna be like, well, I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to go out and get out of my neck of the woods. I got to go see what's going on, and that's going to be important. And getting out of the comfort zone is so important. It's like probably one of the most difficult things too. No, not very many will be calm when they can when they can't feed their kids. Yep. Yep. Man, Mark, congratulations. Is it a boy or a girl? Do you know? Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Congratulations. You're gonna have a little one running around soon. You know, that's awesome. Congratulations, Kevin. I want to know if you know if it's a boy or a girl. Man, if it's a boy, I hope it's not as ugly as you, Mark. Just kidding, Mark. I gotta give it time. We gotta really understand, though, folks. Um, something that would be really good. And there's somebody here in our chat, and I have to say this about her. Um, is that she has really went into situations, right? where that's cool. That's cool. The old-fashioned surprise, surprise. Here I am, dad. But I think that there's somebody in our chat right now, and she always goes and she volunteers at food pantries. And see, I think that when you go and volunteer, like at a soup kitchen, a Red Cross, um, your local church, doing something where you expect nothing back is going to tune you in on some skills. It's going to, you're going to have time there to talk to people that are going through a hard, hard time, harder than you. And that, my friends, if it's a boy or a girl, I hope baby gets mama's looks. Well, we hope so too, Mark. You know, but that I think is really important. When you go work at a soup kitchen or you go out on the streets of a city and you just start going to homeless and you're giving them care bags, you're going to really, it's going to shake you up. And not only is it going to shake you up, it's going to make you realize how blessed you are. See, I think a lot of times we get stuck in looking at things and going, "Oh, poor pitiful me. I can't do this, I can't do that. This is wrong in my life and that's wrong in my life." Trust and believe there's always someone less fortunate than you. There's somebody always that uh yeah, yep, exactly, RCX. It makes you appreciate what you have. It makes you appreciate that you're blessed. You when I went into Jamaica and different parts of Mexico, I was so happy to come back to the United States. And I realized how spoiled we are. And I realized how blessed we are. And I realized that, a lot of times we have many, many people that, you know, need to work harder, that need to work harder. Yeah, I bet they did, Carol. I bet they did. Just like LA riots taught me a lot. And it teaches you a lot about survival. It also teaches you a lot about gray man, teaches you about being a chameleon, how not to stick out in a situation where you really don't need to be sticking out, you know? Yeah, very true. Very true. That's so true. That's true, Watchman. And I gotta agree with you. I think we're on number 6 or 7. Let me list. And I think that a lot of people buy stuff. Okay, you always go to a prepper channel and buy, right? I'm prep, cheap, cheap, cheap. Even though I have a website, right? Y'all know I have a website. I think that learning to adapt and use things around you are so important, right? Wow. We're glad you found us. We're glad we found you. We'll be lifting you up. And I think that hiding Jesus, forgiveness, oh, forgiveness of that situation truly shows what kind of person you are. And I hope and pray that you keep finding forgiveness, and I'm sure you have to do it on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Y'all, I'm really puffy. I am really puffy from the swelling. And actually, my alarm just went off, and I gotta do this real quick. Um, I hope that each and every one of you think about what I said this morning, and that you really think about what you can do. Don't go buy everything. Get experience. You know, get experience. Go out and do things. Learn the skills that and the tools. You know, you can buy all the tools, but if you don't use them, they're not good. They're not any good. The last thing I want to bring up is force yourself. Force yourself to do training, to train. You know, there's a lot of people that all they talk about is the second to second to second. And is that a wise thing? Like I said the other day, is that they get stuck. They get stuck in one preparedness area. And that's not a good thing. You have to be well-rounded to keep going forward, right? You got to be well-rounded. At this time, folks, I'm glad y'all came and hung out this morning. Um, we're at the end of the main topic is over. Um, if you'd like to stay for a while, we're going to open up the chat. Um, we're going to have some faith get together, some music, and you're more than welcome to stay. And please, if you're leaving, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get me a hot cup of coffee and take my medicine for my swelling, and I'll be right back.
I have walked through the darkest valley. I was lost, couldn't find my way. But then I heard him from within, he who died for my sins. He spoke my name, then I saw his face. Yes, I've seen his eternal glory. I felt his hand when I was astray. I never knew until then what his love truly meant. I was lost, but now I'm found by his grace. By his grace. The burning flame within my soul. The fire in my heart. He is my joy, he is my song. He is right when all is wrong. He's my savior and the light in the dark. Oh, I know I'm on a long and arduous journey. It is a narrow and a winding
Everybody's here. I'm glad that you all stayed. And if my mods would drop our Do the Dang Thing channels, also, folks, remember, please, we really, until you're here a while, we don't just promote channels. I got really burnt out on that last year. A lot of things happened, and with the old channel. And it's not that I'm being mean or rude or anything like that. It's just that a lot of people we'll see them one time, they'll drop their channel to try to use a different channel to grow, and then it ends up being a catastrophe. So I'll go check out new channel, new people that come in, and if we also have 3 spots left for the month of March for Do the Dang Thing. So if some of my mods would drop those channels, that would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it. I think that each and every one of us, right, is that we all need to take the steps, and we need to get our spiritual house in order. We need to get centered and focused on the right things in life. And so many times, I really truly believe that God leads, and if we would just follow, if we would just listen and follow, that's like probably the most important thing that we can do is to really open our hearts and our minds to what's important in life. And honestly, I've come to the conclusion that the most important thing, first and foremost, is God. But people are so important, and each one of us is going through different things. And when you bring it all to the good Lord and you surrender it's such a feeling of just lightening your load. And God makes a way for all of us every single day, every single day. Good morning, Mama Freddie. Good morning. Um, I'm gonna try to bring back a lot more morning lives. I miss y'all in the morning, and it gets me motivated to keep going, um, to keep striving to be a better person. And I think we all need to do that, right? And I believe that RCX. Um, I believe that with all my heart. Is that we are in the days of Elijah. We're in the book of Revelation, and when we see these things unfold in front of us, don't let your eyes be deceived. Let your heart be in the right place, right? Yep, yep. So true. So true. I mean, so many times I'm sure throughout life y'all have felt the same way. Is that, oh my gosh, you're like up against this brick wall, and you really don't know where to turn. And if you would just turn it over to the good Lord, he did send his only son so that we can have everlasting life through him. And we have to believe that. We have to surrender that. And we have to walk in faith every single day. It's been the motto here at OTWP since the beginning, is to walk in faith and not fear. And that's really, really important, is to walk in the faith, not fear, right? To let him be the compass, to let him lead us, to let him direct us, to let him be the one that puts us where we need to be. Because that's so important. We can get wrapped up in this old world, and we can get down, but when you turn it all around, we're all striving for something better, because we know that when we leave this place, that we're promised something way better, way better. And all I want is a simpler life, and that simpler life is sometimes shutting out the world, and shutting out the news, and shutting out the chaos and the confusion. Good morning, Tequila Cactus. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. No, even, I've told it before, when I was sitting on the edge of that cliff and contemplating if I was going to be here tomorrow. And that cross dangled in front of my face. The cross of salvation, the cross of forgiveness, the cross of that he laid it all down for us. And that is so important. Thank you, mods, for dropping all the links. Thank you. Remember, your memberships really do help the channel. Your super chats and your stickers. I really appreciate them. I appreciate them so much, and y'all don't even know. You know, but let's keep walking in faith, light, love, and hope. And yeah, we have a lot of fun here. Some people don't get me. Some people don't get me, but it's okay that they don't get me. You know. But I hope that everybody has a great day. I'm gonna play one more song because even when the sky's falling, folks, we're still here. So enjoy this last song, and oh, do I want to? I don't know. It's a eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No, I'm gonna play this one. Even when the sky's falling, we got to keep standing. We got to keep walking. We got to keep praying it up, surrendering it. And I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day today. I'll see you Thursday morning for sure. I probably won't be on until Thursday. I got a lot on my plate. I'm doing a big, huge project out on the deck. So y'all see it soon. Wow, wow, what a difference when you get up and you just start doing things. Until I see you again, my friends. God bless. Be safe. Stay safe.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.